Welcome to On My Way to Wealth, the podcast where busy Gen Xers can learn financial tips as they navigate life on their way to wealth. And now, please join your host, Luis Rosa.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to On My Way to Wealth. My name is Luis, and I am your host. Some people call me Luis, typically on the West Coast. Some people call me Luis, typically on the East Coast. Whatever rolls off your tongue easier is fine with me. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, as well as what you can expect on this podcast. In case you were wondering, the accent you hear is my Dominican New York accent. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic and moved to Washington Heights in Uptown Manhattan when I was 11 years old. I have also lived in the Bronx and Westchester, where I graduated from college. I am now the owner of Build a Better Financial Future, which is a full-service wealth management, tax planning, and investing firm. Growing up, I had no financial literacy. Even though I saw my parents working very hard, because they didn't have things like 401k plans, credit cards, life insurance, or investments, I never really learned much about money or how to manage it. As a result, my 5 siblings and I had to learn about money the hard way through a lot of trial and error. This is why I became a certified financial planner professional and started my own business. I want to help people, especially Gen Xers like myself, who are working on buying homes, paying off debt, sending kids to college, investing, planning a wedding, preparing taxes, and planning for retirement, and much more. I know a lot of this can be confusing, and my goal is to break everything down into simplistic terms for you. I will have other experts featured on my show to discuss topics including car buying. In fact, that'll be episode 1. I will also have guests discussing estate planning, traveling on a budget, retirement planning, wedding planning, and real estate investing, just to name a few. I have dealt with many of these things myself. My wife and I moved across the country from New York to Las Vegas when my wife decided to go back to school and pursue a second degree. This was all happening while we were planning for a wedding, and my wife took almost 2 years off of work. I want to share my story and the tips I've learned along the way, not only as a financial planner, but also from my personal experiences in order to help guide all of you. My podcast will air twice a month. If you have any topics you would like to learn more about or any specific guests that you would like featured on the show, please reach out to me at luis@onmywaytowealth.com. I would love to hear from you and to have you sign up for the podcast and the blog. Thank you for listening. I wish you health, wealth, and happiness.
Thank you for listening to On My Way to Wealth. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. Send Luis an email at luis@onmywaytowealth.com. To read the show notes and the blog, please visit www.onmywaytowealth.com. Luis Rosa is an investment advisor representative of Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. Build a Better Financial Future and Retirement Wealth Advisors are not affiliated. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. This information should not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with the professionals specializing in the fields of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested.